Very good morning, children. I am glad to start your second term, first unit heat. By learning this lesson, we will be able to list out the sources of heat. We can easily define heat. We can easily distinguish hot and cold object. We can define temperature, also differentiate heat and temperature. We'll understand the condition for thermal equilibrium, and you will be able to understand why thermal expansion takes place in solid, and also you will be coming to know the practical applications of heat in your day-to-day life. So what do you know about heat? What the basic things? Heat we can easily feel. When we stand in sunlight for a long time, we can experience heat. Also, heat is used to cook. Heat is used to produce electricity. And if some object, if we need something to be cold, we reduce the heat of that object by including ice cubes. So let us know about the sources of heat. The very primary and primitive natural source of heat is sun. The sun not only provides us light but also provides us heat. That's why we feel heat while we stand for a long time in the sunlight. We cannot walk without shoes in the sunny day on the road. Also, compassion. Combustion means burning. Combustion means burning. Burning is also another form of heat. This is how the primitive man produced heat. By combustion, we produce heat. By that, we prepare food. We burn the fuels like wood, kerosene, coal, charcoal, gasoline, petrol, oil, etc. to produce heat. Next, friction. Rub your palms for some times and then hold them to your cheeks. How do you feel? We can generate heat by rubbing two surfaces of the same substances. In the past, people they produce heat using this friction of two stones together. They rub the two stones together to light fire. Electricity. When electric current flows through a conductor, heat energy is produced. The water heater, iron box, electric kettle, etc. work on this principle. Now, what about heat? What is the basic thing happens to produce heat in an object? As we all know, matter or the object is made up of atoms or molecule, but the atoms and molecules inside the object will not be static. It will vibrate with respect to its equilibrium position, but we cannot see that in our naked eye. But when the heat energy is produced in an object, the vibration is heavier, and this is why the heat is produced. The heat is an energy that raises the temperature of a thing by causing the molecules in that thing to move faster. So, heat is not a matter, because a matter should consist of a particular shape, defined shape, size, and it should occupy space, but heat is not occupying space. It has no weight. Like light, sound and electricity, heat is also a form of energy. In short, heat is total kinetic energy of constituent particle of an object. SI unit of heat is joule, but heat is also measured in calories. Hot and cold object. Next we need to see. In our daily life we come across many objects, something are cold, something are hot. How can we determine these thing is hot, these thing are hot, cold? By touching with the tip of our finger, we can find out whether the teacup is hot or cold. But it is not a formal or determined method. By touching, we cannot find out heat in every object. So for that, we need something. What we need to measure the heat. That measurement is known as thermometer. Measuring device is known as thermometer, and that parameter is temperature. What is temperature? The measurement of warmness or coldness of a substance is known as its temperature. SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. Also, Celsius and Fahrenheit are the other units used to measure the temperature. Celsius is called as centigrade as well. It determines the direction of heat when two bodies are placed in contact. Temperature is a measure of heat. Next, we need to see the difference between temperature and heat. Heat and temperature are not the same thing. They in fact mean two different things. Temperature is related to how fast the atom and molecule move or vibrate within the substance. Heat not only depends on the temperature of the substance, but also depends on how many molecules are there in the object. Temperature measures the average kinetic energy of molecule. Heat measures the total kinetic energy of the molecule in the substance. So, these are all the points which help us to understand the difference between temperature and heat. Let us think. Pavitra is having tea while watching the pond near her house. Surely tea is in higher temperature than the water in the pond. Now a question is arising in Pavitra's mind. Which one has more heat energy, a cup of tea or the water in the pond? What do you think? Even though the temperature of the tea is higher than that of the pond water, the volume of the water in pond is very high. Hence the amount of molecule in the water in the pond is higher than the tea in the cup. So pond has more heat energy than the teacup. So how much molecule is taken under the measurement is also plays a vital role to determine the amount of heat energy. Next, we need to see about flow of heat. It is very common. You can experience the flow of heat in your daily day-to-day life. While you put hot water for boiling, transfer of heat energy takes place. Preparing food and leave it for few minutes, few times, what will happen? Its temperature is reduced. Why? Because of flow of heat. Let's see the flow of heat. There is an analogy between temperature and the water level. Water flows when there is a difference in the level of water in different places. It does not matter if there is more water in one place or another. Water from a puddle can flow into a reservoir or the other way around. The temperature of an object is like the water level. It determines the direction in which heat energy or heat will flow. Heat energy flows from higher temperature to lower temperature. So thermal contact and thermal equilibrium. Consider two bodies A and B. Let the temperature A be higher than that of B. On bringing bodies A and B in contact, heat will flow from the hot body A to the cold body B. Heat will continue to flow till both the bodies attain the same temperature. The temperature determines the direction of flow of heat. You are hiding a hot cup of a coffee. Would the heat energy transfer from your body to the coffee? No. The coffee to your body? Yes. You are standing outside on a sunny day. It is 40 degrees Celsius outside. Note that normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. Would the heat energy transfer from your body to the air particle or the air particle to your body? Second one is true. You are standing outside on a winter day. It is 23 degrees Celsius outside. Would the heat energy transfer from your body to the air particle or the air particle to your body? First one is the true. The two objects are said to be in thermal contact if they can exchange heat energy. Thermal equilibrium exists when two objects in thermal contact no longer affect each other's temperature. So this is called thermal equilibrium. So expansion in solid. Due to temperature, due to the heat energy given to the body, the first and foremost thing happens in the body is expansion. Expansion is taking place. Here in this pictorial representations, they beautifully explain. It is a very beautiful explanation about heat energy. You have to understand it very clearly. See the first picture. Here, solid, liquid, gas. The molecular structure of solid, liquid, gases are given. See, in solid there is no gap between the molecules. They are arranged properly. They are in contact to each other. They are aligned. But liquid, the molecules are, the distance between the molecules are little greater than the solid. In air, the molecules are randomly moving. So this is the basic structure. What happened to these molecules? See, this is solid molecule. What happened these molecules on heating? What will happen? The molecular gap become larger. Okay, so the bond between the molecules break. ரெண்டு கடையில் ஒரு பாண்ட் இருக்கும், அதனால தான் இதெல்லாம் tightly பவுண்டடாக இருக்குது. Heat energy breaks the bond between the molecules, so it liberates. If we further heat, what will happen? The heat energy transfer from one molecule to the other molecules to the next molecule. The heat energy transfer from molecule to molecule. Okay, so on heating, what will happen? This tightly bounded molecule liberated and become free and become more free. This is what happened in water. That's why ice cube solid become liquid as water, and it further on further heating it becomes gaseous state, steam. Okay, so what happened? The reverse process taking place on cooling. On cooling, compression takes place, so the atoms and molecules are bounded again together. This is what explained in this book. So this is expansion. The expansion of a substance on heating is called the thermal expansion of that substance. The expansion can be classified into two types. One is linear expansion, another one is cubic expansion. The expansion in length alone takes place means it is called linear expansion. If the volume itself changes due to expansion means it is called cubic expansion. So they have given you activity for linear expansion and cubic expansion in your textbook. You can go through it, and these activities are explained in your YouTube. You can go through and see the experiment. Next we are going to see the uses of thermal expansion. Fitting the iron rim on the wooden wheel is the first use, and riveting is the second use. If you ask your father about these things, they will very happily and beautifully explain you, no problem. Thermal expansion examples are given. Cracking of a thin glass tumbler. Glass is a poor conductor of heat. When hot liquid is poured into the tumbler, the inner surface of the tumbler becomes hot and expands, while the outer surface remains at the room temperature and does not expand. Due to this unequal expansion, the tumbler cracks. Electric wire between electric posts contracts on cold days and sag in the summers. To solve this problem, we leave the wire slack so that they are free to change length. The photographs below show an expansion join at the end of the bridge in winter and summer. Which season is shown in each picture? Explain. How do you know? Expansion takes place only during the summer. In winter, contraction takes place. Okay, I hope you all understand today's lesson. Learn well. Many of you have received your second term guide, and you can easily learn through the notes. Thank you. God bless you.